everybody, welcome to our new workout. So today we're going to do a circle workout. So if you have one of these, you can grab it. Okay, you're going to be sitting up nice and tall, arms out in front of you. Take an inhale, tuck the pubic bone into the belly button, roll back. Exhale, come back up to sitting tall, lifting up through the spine. And again, inhale, we round and roll back. And exhale, come up to sitting tall. Let's do two more. Inhale, round to roll back. Exhale, draw up through the tummy as you sit up tall. One more. Inhale to roll back. And exhale, coming up to sitting tall. On this next one, we're rolling all the way down to the floor. Lift the arms up to the ceiling. Bring the legs a little bit closer. Then place the circle between the knees, just above the knees. Arms go down to your sides. As you inhale, squeeze into the circle. You'll feel those inner thighs engage, then release the squeeze. And again, inhale, squeeze into the circle, and exhale to release. So even though the knees are wider than usual, you want the feet to stay hip distance apart. And we squeeze and release. Let's do two more. And one more. Squeeze. Hold that squeeze this time. Tuck the tailbone into the tummy. You're going to roll up vertebra by vertebra and hold it at the top. Release the squeeze and we squeeze again. Release and squeeze. One more. Release and squeeze. Roll back down through the spine. As your glutes hit the mat, release the squeeze. Inhale, exhale, squeeze into the circle, tilt in the pelvis, roll the spine up and hold. Release the squeeze, and then we squeeze for one. Release and squeeze two, and release and squeeze three. Exhale to roll back down through the spine. As your glutes touch the mat, you release the circle. We have one more. Inhale and exhale, squeeze the circle, draw the belly button in, roll up, and you release and squeeze for one. Release and squeeze two. One more. Release, squeeze three. Hold the squeeze. Roll down into the spine. Release to neutral. Release the squeeze. Interlace the hands behind the head. Keep the elbows slightly lifted. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift the head and chest up off the floor. We squeeze into the circle for three. Squeeze for two. Squeeze for one. Lower the head and chest. Release the squeeze on the circle. Inhale and exhale to lift back up and squeeze for three. Squeeze for two and squeeze for one. Lower the head and chest down. Release your squeeze. Inhale and exhale. Lift back up right off those shoulder blades. We squeeze for three. Squeeze two. Squeeze one. Lower the head and chest. Release the squeeze. You have one more. Those inner thighs should really be working. Squeeze three. Squeeze two. Squeeze one. Hold the squeeze. Rotate the upper body over to the right. Lift up through the center. Rotate over to the left. You're still squeezing over to the right. And you just hold a constant squeeze as you move through the center. Over to the right. Inhale and exhale to the left. We have four more to the right. Through the center to the left. One more on each side. And over to the left, you're squeezing. Come back to the center, lift up a little higher. Lower the head and chest. Inhale. Exhale, lift the head and chest back up. Reach the arms forward, grab the circle. Lower the head and chest down. The circle's now in your hands. Stretch the fingertips up to the ceiling. Float the right leg up to tabletop. You're going to breathe in to tap the toes, squeeze with the hands into the circle, then release it as you lift that leg back up. And squeeze two. The circle's not going to move much here because we are at a long lever. Tap and lift. I want you to keep the elbows straight. So don't try and bend the elbows to get more of a squeeze. And tap, squeeze, lift and release. And tap to squeeze, lift and release. One more. Inhale, tap. Exhale to lift. Stay here. Bend at the elbows. Take the elbows out to the side. You're going to extend the leg to 45. You squeeze into the circle, and it's going to feel a bit easier for this one. And you straighten the leg, squeeze 2, because you're using a larger muscle group to squeeze now. And we go 3. And release. Inhale, squeeze, stretch that leg, 4. And release. Squeeze a circle, stretch the leg, 5. And release. And stretch and squeeze, 6. And release, 2 more. Straighten the leg, stretch, 7. And release, last one. Straighten the leg, stretch, 8. Bend the leg back in. Lower the right leg down. Float the left leg up. Straighten the arms back up to the ceiling, and we tap, squeeze into the circle, lift and release the circle. And again, tap and squeeze for 2, lift and release. Tap and squeeze, 3, and lift to release. Inhale, 4, and lift it back up. Keep the ribs going down to your mat. Keep the shoulders out of the ears. 2 more. Inhale, tap. Elbows are straight. And we tap and lift. Bend the elbows out to the side now. Extend the left leg out to 45. Squeeze the circle and release the circle as the leg comes back in. And again, stretch and release. And we squeeze and release. Straighten 4. And release. Extend through that leg and bend. 1 more to extend and bring that leg back. Hold the leg up. Straighten the arms up to the ceiling. Point the bottom toes. Take a breath in. Breathe out to switch the legs. Inhale to pause. Exhale to switch. Inhale, pause. Exhale, switch. And we exhale to switch for 5. Exhale, switch 4. Exhale, 3. And exhale for 2. And 1 more. We're going to add arms. Take the arms over the head. Inhale. Exhale, switch the legs. Lift the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, switch the legs. Move the arms backwards. So the arms move when the legs switch. Inhale. And exhale to switch. Inhale. Switch arms overhead. Inhale. And exhale up. Inhale and exhale, switch. And we go arms up to the ceiling as you switch. Arms moving back as you switch again. And we have 2 more, up. And the last one, taking the arms back. Lower the legs down onto the mat. Take the circle like a halo over your head. Arms are going over the top of the circle. You're going to float the right leg up to tabletop. Option to either keep the knee bent or to extend the leg up to the ceiling for little leg circles. You're going to push into the circle above your head. Then we're going to circle around for 1. And you circle around 2. Keep pulling the shoulders out of the ears. 3. And circle 4. Take a breath per circle. 5. And breathe out. 6. Breathe into circle 7 and breathe out to circle 8. Stay here. Flex the foot. Point the toes in the opposite direction. Circle around 1 and we circle 2. You only make your circle as big as you can, keeping the pelvis stable. Keep the left knee still and around. And we go down and around. And 1 more, down and around, hold. Take your circle, place it over the arch of the foot, and just give yourself a nice stretch. You can keep the other leg bent for now. Deep breaths. Every time you exhale, try and pull the leg a little bit closer. And you can extend the bottom leg out along the mat. And just take an inhale. And exhale, pull the leg a little closer. And again, inhale. And exhale a little bit more. And inhale. And exhale a little closer. Then gently lift that leg back up. Take the leg out of the circle. Take the circle back over the head. And then you're floating the left leg up to tabletop, either keeping it bent or extending the leg up to the ceiling. Elbows are staying as close to each other as possible. Push down into the circle, and we go around for 1. And you exhale around for 2. Breathe into circle 3, and breathing out to circle 4. Inhale around 5, and circle for 6. 2 more, around for 7, and last one around 8. Hold it here, flex the foot, point the toes in the opposite direction, around for 1, and around for 2. Keep pushing into that circle above the head, 3, and exhale 4. Inhale to circle around 5, and exhale to circle 6. Keep the rib cage pushing down into the mat, 7. Keep the abdominals engaged, 8. Stay here. Take the circle, place it over the arch of the foot, and give yourself a nice stretch. One side might feel a little tighter than the other. That's okay. That's normal. And just take a breath in and breathing out. Straighten the opposite leg out along the mat. And again, inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Gently take that leg out of the circle. Take the arms over the head with your circle. And we're going to breathe in to lift the arms, the head, the chest. Exhale, moving forward, taking the circle over the ankles. You squeeze the circle for 3, squeeze 2, squeeze 1, roll back down into the mat, curling through the spine. Lift the arms up to the ceiling and overhead. And again, inhale to lift, up and over. Moving forward, squeezing into the circle for 3, squeeze 2, squeeze 1, and roll back down. 1 more. Inhale, lifting the arms, the head, the chest. Exhale, up and over. Hold it here, squeeze 3, squeeze 2, squeeze 1, and roll back down. Rounding through the spine and arms going over. You can turn over onto your right side. The circle is going to be in front of you. The left elbow is going up to the ceiling. The right palm is turned up to the sky. Legs are squeezing together. You're going to push into the circle as you lift the legs up. Then release the push on the circle as you lower the legs. And again, exhale, push down in the circle, lift the legs. Inhale to lower. And again, push down and lift the legs. Inhale to lower. And you push down and lift. Breathe in to lower. We have 5 more. Lift and lower. And lift. 4 and lower. Squeeze into that circle. 3 and lower. 2 more. And down. 1 more. Push down. Lift the legs. Stay here. Little pulses up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the bottom leg. We're going forward and circling around 1. Forward and circle 2. Keep pushing into that circle. Around 3. and circle around for a little test of the balance, and around 5 in the opposite direction, around for 5 and around 4, circle around 3, circle around 2, and circle around 1. Lower that leg down, circle goes to the ankle, and just give yourself a little stretch. And then gently, you can take the legs over to the other side. Left arm is straight underneath you. Right elbow going up to the ceiling. You're pushing down onto the circle to lift the legs up. Lower the legs down as you release. And again, push down as you lift. 2. And lower the legs as you release. Push down and lift. 3. And release. And you're lifting. And release. And we go down with that circle. Keep that top leg pulling longer than the bottom leg. And lower. And we're going up. And lower. You have 4 more. Keep going. And 3 more. Push down as you lift. And lower. And last 2. And lower. Last one, push down. Hold it here, little pulses higher. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the bottom leg. We circle forward and around for 1. Forward and around 2. Forward around 3. And circle around 4. Keep pushing into the circle. 5. In the opposite direction, around for 5. And circle 4. Around for 3. Around for 2. And around 1 more. Lower that leg down, grab the ankle with the circle. And just give yourself a nice stretch in that quad, in the front of the thigh. And then gently releasing the circle off the legs, turning over onto the tummy. Hands are going onto the circle, nose down to the floor. Arms are straight, fingers are stretched. And as you inhale, lift the head and chest. You're going to give a little push down into the circle. And exhale, release the push, lower the nose down. And again, inhale, lift the head and chest, push down onto the circle. And exhale to release as you lower. And inhale, pull the tummy away from the shirt, lift. And lower back down. And breathe in to lift. Exhale to lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift the head and chest. And exhale to lower. Gently push the glutes back to the heels. Reach the arms forward over your circle. And just take an inhale. And exhale. Gently roll up to sitting. We're just going to end off with some arms. So you're going to take the circle around to the right side, fingertips of the right arm down to the floor. You can stay up onto your knees. You're going to squeeze into that circle and release. Squeeze into the circle 2 and release. Keep the right shoulder pulling away from the ear and release. Squeeze and release. And we have 3 more. Squeeze and release. 2 more and release. And 1 more. Squeeze and release. Good. Take the circle to the top shoulder, elbow out to the side, straighten those fingertips, and it's like you're patting yourself on the head. And lift and push down for 2 and lift. Push down for 3 and up. Push down 4 and lift. Good, we have 4 more and up and 3 more. Lift. 2 more, push down and last one, push down and lift. Take the circle over to the left side of the body. Squeeze into the circle. So we're doing the same thing on the left that we did on the right. Squeeze 2 and squeeze 3 and release. Squeeze 4 and release. Squeezing 5, release. Squeezing 6 and release. Squeeze for 7 and release. And 1 more, 8 and release. Take the circle to the top shoulder, straighten those fingertips, and you're patting yourself on the head. And we go for 2 and lift and 3 and up. Push down 4 and lift and down for 5 and up and down for 6 and lift. 2 more, 7 and lift. Last one, 8 and lift. Good. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see me. Circles are going behind the back. Both hands are grabbing on each handle, lifting the circle away from the glutes. You squeeze into the circle. It's not going to go anywhere. Then you release. Then you squeeze 2, but you are activating those triceps. And release. Squeeze into the circle 3. And release. And squeeze 4. And release. Squeezing in 5. And release. Squeeze in for 6 and release. And you squeeze in 7 and release. 1 more. Squeeze 8. Hold the squeeze. Lift the arms up higher for 10 and 9, and you're still squeezing. 8 and 7. Squeeze and lift 6. Squeeze and lift 5. Up 4. Up 3. Lift 2 and lift 1 more. Lower the arms down. Good. Going back into that rest position. Arms over the circle. Gently unfold the spine, and you can just sit with your legs crossed in front of you, and we're just going to do a little arm stretch. So the right arm goes forward, goes across the chest, and you grab it with the left arm. Gently take the left ear over to the left shoulder. And just feel a nice stretch across the neck. And then switch it around, taking the left arm forward and across. And drop the right ear to the right shoulder. And then gently release it. Let's stretch the forearms, arms out in front of you, pull the fingers up to the ceiling. And then take the fingertips down to the floor and pull the top of the hand back. And release it on the other side, fingertips up to the ceiling. And take the fingertips down to the floor and give a nice stretch. And take the arms out. Interlace the hands behind the back. Give a big stretch up to the ceiling as you breathe in. And breathe out to release. Just do a few shoulder rolls, just to relax those shoulders. And in the opposite direction around. And there we go. Well done, everybody.